light's done. We're belted in. We're locked in. Get up there where you want to be on your seat, on your pedals there.
Should be.
Feels like your should be set to both. It is. Brakes you're holding. Circuit breakers. You got 2 rows down here. All in. Mixture. We're gonna make full rich. Carburetor heat. Then we cold, what is in. Throttle. All the way in. Just an 8 minute. We're not showing you how to do that. There you go. Rest your finger. Alright, we're doing about 3 shots of prime. And we're gonna get that thing in and out. Got the
Pull first or turn?
you gotta push and twist to get to unlock. You just got that pin that engages the collar. You'll feel it.
Alright, so
And
there.
a good slow drag and then back. You do that 3 times.
Three sets of 2 or just 3 total?
3 in and outs. So that's 2. And then lock it. Alright. I don't see anything around this. Clear. Bring your master switch on.
Both of them?
Easily should. Right hand on the throttle. Look around you. Hold it clear.
Clear!
Alright. Fire it up. Make sure you look for oil pressure as soon as it cranks, and then we'll set it at 1,000 RPM.
Okay, there we are. Got me? Got you loud and clear. Alright, so we checked the oil pressure. We know the beacon's on because we left it on our walk around. Got the avionics on. We're going to make sure our transponder is on standby, which we are. And we're going to go ahead and get our weather. We want 123.85. Let's go ahead and set it on this radio here. And we're going to transfer volume up.
Landing runway 1. Notice the airman. Runway 1432 closed. Altitude restricted, low approach is authorized. All taxiways west of runway 1 closed. Runway 1432 PAPI out of service. Advise on initial contact, you have information Tango.
Information Tango.
Waco information Tango. 12510 observation. Wind 300 at 3. Visibility 10. Sky clear. Temperature 12. Dew point 9er. Altimeter 3012.
30.12.
Waco
Not much of
regional
an
landing
adjustment.
runway 1. Notice the airman. Runway 1432 closed. Altitude.
Is that right? That looks good. Yeah, it should show about 500 feet, right? And we do.
What are we here, 537? Is that right?
Depends on what part of the airport you're on. Even the rule of thumb for IFR places, if we're within 75 feet of the field, then we're in good shape.
Okay.
Alright, what is our heading indicator showing? 030, right?
Yes, sir.
And what do we got down here? 030.
About, well, 32 actually. But
Can you hold 2 degrees?
okay.
We're going to take it again before takeoff, so
Alright.
we're good for taxi there. Go ahead and bring your flaps up. Alright, I'm going to back your power down to right at 1,000 here. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and give them a holler.
No 1080 fast shot with okay. Good morning. 085 shot runway 1, taxi via Delta
Information, uniform is should be current here, and winds are 360 at 5, visibility 10, sky clear, temperature 15, dew point 11, altimeter 3014. Okay, we're gonna make a small adjustment there, 30.14 now. And I want to make the hard left turn out here and then give it to you. I have the controls. Your control. My controls. Alright, we're going to follow the grass line all the way around the airport. You have the controls.
My control.
Your controls. You're clear on the right. Slow us down just a little bit, reduce the power, and then if you need to brake, brake. Always reduce the power before you brake. See how that smoke's just laying over? That tells me it's going to be pretty smooth out there, especially above Paradise altitude. There's not a whole lot of vertical action out there.
So the wind's kind of from the north.
Yeah,
west maybe.
from the northwest, what little bit of it there is, and a real stable sky right now. If you get any bump whatsoever, it'll be below the level that smoke's at, and once you're above that smoke, it'll smooth that real nice. You can see how it's just kind of stratified and hanging out there. Charlie, okay, Waco confirmation, uniforms now carrying Waco altimeter 3014. May even see a little temperature inversion on the climb out today, where it could be a little bit warmer above aloft, yeah.
Where are we going?
We're going all the way around the end, all the way to runway 1. So you said runway 1 via Delta. Remember, black's where you're at, and yellow ray points the way. So we are on Delta. Right. That was Alpha, that's Bravo. Delta takes us all the way around to the end here.
Taxiing's getting better.
Yeah.
Feel more
On
comfortable
the
at it.
center line, we're not doing a whole bunch of S-ing. It's looking good. Alright, you can see the red sign coming up down there. Remember, red and white runway in sight. So before we hit that sign, we want to pull over either right or left and turn ourselves around into the wind for our run-up. And start slowing it down again. Power first and then brakes.
Want to go this way and then turn?
Sure. Yeah, either way is fine. And remember, straighten that nose wheel out by getting those pedals neutral with each other. Alright. You got the brakes on, we got the doors closed, we get the windows here in a second. I'll get mine here in a second anyway. Front control, this room 3, remember, thumbs up, ailerons up.
Aileron up on the right.
Okay. all the way back with your elevator back there, and all the way forward, and then all the way right and all the way left on your rudders. And one more good check, wipe out your controls all the way to the stops on all four corners.
I see. So you have free movement all the way.
Exactly. Flew with the guy recently who was a production test pilot at Mooney and flew a brand new airplane. There was something from the wiring bundle that got loose behind the panel and hung on his control column, and he didn't know it until he got about right here, and then it stopped. He said, oh, better taxi back in.
Hey, how come I can't straighten out my rudder? Why is it?
You get to roll the airplane forward a little bit. You don't have a power steering wheel on this thing. Watch this.
Okay, there you go. I see.
Yep, it doesn't move unless the airplane's moving.
Okay.
Okay, we got that done. Instruments, we're going to double check the heading into here right before we go. We got the altimeter set. Fuel selector still on both. That's one of our killer items. Yep. That thing on both. Make sure we've already got Rich. We didn't really need to lean for taxi because it was nice and cool this morning. We do want to set our trim for takeoff. Put that white line right on the arrow. There we go. Alright, we're going to go to 1700 RPM. And once we're at 1700, let's see if we'll tolerate any leaning while we're running that power. See if you get a rise at all. Once you start getting a drop, then you can go back rich with it and make sure it sustains 1700. There it is. Now go back to 1700. When you hit 1700, go about 4 more twists back rich. Cool. Alright. Took a little bit. Good. Alright, let's check those mags.
About 75.
Okay.
About the same.
Alright. Let's go ahead and check the carburetor heat. Pull that on. Should see a drop. We do.
You want to check it twice? Mike checked his twice.
I'm going to check it again at idle here in a minute, but we're not ready to go to idle.
Okay.
Alright, over here in our P's and T's, oil temperature's up in the green now, oil pressure's in the green, amps looking like you're right at neutral.
Yep.
Suction's in the green. Everybody's happy there. Come on back to idle. Then we're going to check our carb heat again.
Full idle or 1,000?
All the way to idle. Good deal. Back off. What happens is... What? Can you tell me what that might be?
Vacuum, maybe?
Yeah, now why would a vacuum be so low?
Because we're so low.
Yeah, because we're idle. But since we're done with that check, we can bring it back up to 1,000. And the deal with checking that carb heat at idle is if the mixture was excessively rich, we'd find out about it idle with that carb heat on, because the carb heat tends to richen the mixture more. It thins out the air that the engine's breathing.
I see.
Alright, we want our flaps up for takeoff. We want the carburetor heat cold. We're going to climb or take off between 70 and 80 miles an hour. Of course, there's a lot of gaps in here that we've got to sort of correct for ourselves.
774 Golf Echo, Wicked Tower, runway clear to land, wind 3404.
Before takeoff, we're also going to think lights, camera,
85
action.
13 Sierra, Wicked Tower.
Lights, we'll bring on the landing light and the strobes. Camera, we're going to go to out on the transponder. Action.
13 Sierra,
I'm going to switch to COM 1, which puts me on the tower frequency right here. Make sure I've got turned where I can hear him. And we go ahead and turn around and face the whole short line. Then we'll check for our killer items one more time.
Skyline 13 Sierra, ident observed, make straight in runway 1.
Straight in runway 13 Sierra. Waco Tower, Skyline 8513 Sierra, requesting permission for touch and go.
Skyline 13 Sierra, roger, and same intentions after your touch and go.
Up, don't cross the line.
2 touch and goes, up back.
Alright, killer stuff one more time. We're on both. Trim is set for takeoff. Flaps are configured how we want them. Flaps are up. We're good to go. Alright, you ready for makeup? Yep. Okay.
Skyline 1080 Foxtrot, Wicked Tower, hold short of runway 1, landing traffic.
Remember, once you're in the takeoff roll, heels on the floorboard, don't death grip anything, nice and relaxed. Get the controls sort of neutral right about here during your takeoff roll. Get the power in there, don't jam it in there, but don't take all day either. You know, sort of a happy medium there. And I'll call your liftoff. Citation.
Nice plane right there.
Yep. Day 3.
So we want to make sure we take off ahead of his, not prop wash.
We actually want to take off past where he touched down if we can, because he's making wingtip vortices all the way to the ground, which he touches down at about the 1,000-foot point, and we'll be taking off right about that point. So as long as we're at or past where he lands at, then we're good.
Okay, so are we good to move ahead?
Nope, we haven't been clear for takeoff yet.
Citation 4 Golf Echo, turn right Alpha 2, text departing via Alpha Delta, remain this frequency.
Alpha 2, Alpha Delta, the Waco flying service with...
Neutral is right where that control lock would be, right?
360,
So that's a little bit beyond.
Yeah, right about there. Alright, go ahead and take us on the runway. And the idea is you just don't want to be putting any forward pressure on your takeoff roll. You don't want to be wheelbarrowing it. Okay, finals clear. As you pull on the runway, sit back in your seat, relax. Take a deep breath. Rolling on the runway 1, that's what we're clear for takeoff on. I see the number 1 out there.
Want to adjust this again?
Tower, good morning, Cassie 3.
We're good to go.
Skyline 13 Sierra, enter left downwind, runway 19er, wind 020 opposite direction, traffic 10 miles north of the field. This is a King Air going to runway 19er.
130 will let
Good
down
power
there.
addition, good pace, good crosswind
Jesse 3
control.
Waco Tower, traffic opposite direction, Skyhawk departing runway 1, northwest bound, runway 19er.
Alright, let's go flying.
19 simply optional, release on traffic 32.
There you go, put your glare shield on the horizon, get you a little bit of right rudder in there. Nice. A little bit more right rudder. He's a different animal in this cool air.
Oh man, this is pleasant right now.
Uh-huh.
Sky Gate 0 Foxtrot, traffic 12 o'clock, 8 miles opposite direction, King Air 3000 landing and departing runway 19er. Roger.
Alright, let's go and use about left 90 here and keep her climbing.
Skyline 13 Sierra, go on 5 following.
Right about there. Nice, coordinate, roll out, keep that right rudder in there now that you're still climbing straight ahead.
What a beautiful day.
Man, it's gorgeous up here. I bet you get about parallel with where that smoke is and you'll feel it warm up a little bit. That's part of the deal with why it can't rise, because it's hitting warmer air.
Ah, I see.
Skygate 0 Foxtrot, traffic 12 moving 1 o'clock, 2 miles northbound, Bonanza 4000. sea change approved to your discretion.
Okay, in the inner climb, 70 to 85 miles an hour on the airspeed, or knots on the airspeed, we're good to go there. Throttle open,
Skyline
make sure you're
130,
set. We're good.
The King Air traffic you're following is 3 mile final. Report the traffic in sight.
That was the after takeoff check.
Yep, that's it.
So smooth right now.
Smooth as glass. Remember, as we get ready to level off here, our steps for leveling the airplane off and getting set up are pitch, then power, then trim. We're always going to be trimming for an attitude, an airspeed, and a power setting.
Skyline 130,
It's
number
power
2.
trim. So let's go ahead and pitch over for the whole flight.
Runway 19er, clear touch and go.
Number 2 for 19,
Alright, there's 1/3.
Alright, looks good. Go ahead and retard that power to about 2200. And then once that's set, you can go ahead and roll that trim wheel forward if you need to get rid of any control pressure. And we'll see what we got.
Pretty good right there, I think.
Looks good to me. Alright, go ahead and turn us towards Lake Whitney up here. Give you a couple of visual 360s just to wake everything up, make sure you're not white knuckling, then we're going to go to work on the hood. So, left hand 360. Let's keep the airplane as level as we can. Back your power off just a hair, right about there. Perfect.
Is that not enough bank? Should I have more bank? I guess.
No, you're standing right now. You're perfect. I'm going to show you a reference for that once I put you under the hood. Hey, you've been holding this standing right all the way around. Flight picture is excellent. If there's any smoother up here, it'd be cheap.
Golly, this is awesome. Like water skiing on a glass lake, right? Alright, so there's Lake Whitney.
Alright, roll her out. Show me level for a couple of seconds, and then a level right 360.
Alright, going right 360.
Okay. You're pulling back just a little bit. Relax that just a touch. There you go. You probably let out a little bit of bank, maybe let out 3 to 5 degrees, and you're just about dead on standard rate. Yeah, that lake is awful glassy too.
believe all this rain we've been getting?
Yeah, it is.
Of course, you were gone most of the time, but
Yeah, I was gone for a good bit of it, but we got home, of course, Tuesday just in time for the threats of golf ball to softball-sized hail.
yeah.
I'm totally listening. You know, my pickup lives outside at home, and we were undercover parking at the Austin airport. I said, shoot, we should have stayed in Alaska one more day. I wouldn't have complained.
Right?
Tell you what, if you've never had reindeer tacos,
Pretty good,
that is
huh?
legit, man.
Really?
It tastes more like beef than it does like venison.
Going 130, wind 330, advise runway 19
Didn't lose any altitude at all on that one, did I?
Yeah.
I can see a film of dust building up on the airplane.
Yep.
Dirt.
And falling in the summer, it's just going to get worse. Okay, I have the controls.
Your controls.
My controls. Your fuggles.
I put him over my,
Yeah, they
sunglasses.
should fit over your glasses. If not, we'll have to come up with something different, but they should fit.
Okay.
Okay, I will climb us up to 3,000 real quick. Now I'm going to reset your power. So remember we say that we always trim for a pitch, or an attitude rather, an airspeed and a power setting, and everything is back where you had it. We're back at 100 knots, back at 2200 RPM, back at level, so the trim is set perfectly. So now I go to the skin. Alright, I've got the control still.
Okay.
If you wanted to hold the airplane level visually, what would you look at? What would be your reference? The nose, right?
This and this probably, but more or less.
Well, this is useless.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna hold anything level. This is gonna tell you, are you on the horizon or not? And sure enough, there we are. Little airplanes on the horizon, there's your wings, there's your nose. That's what we're gonna base everything off of. It's just like visual flying. We gotta have a reference point first, right?
Sure.
Now, when we're straight and level, we want to be relatively static on our airspeed and on our altitude, so now we can go back around to our scan. We're showing about 105 knots here. We're level. We're hanging out within 50 feet of our altitude. We're hanging out right around zero, climbing descent rate. We're on heading. Wings are level. Ball is centered.
Okay.
Now, I took my time doing that, but how long did that scan take? Maybe 5 seconds. Yeah. I know, what if I wanted to roll into a turn visually? What do I have in reference first? My nose and my horizon, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's your nose and your horizon. And you're going to notice that standard rate is between these two little hatch marks right here. So what if I held my nose on the horizon and rolled into a turn where I'm between those two little hatch marks? Let's do that. Nose stays on the horizon. Markers between the two hash marks. Now I go back to my scan. I shouldn't see much of an airspeed change if I'm not climbing or descending, right?
Right.
Airspeed's still right around 100 to 105. Nose on the horizon, right between the marks. We're on altitude, hanging out right around zero. We're in a left-hand turn. And look at that. See how the wing is on that line right there? That is a
Yeah.
standard rate turn. It's a 2-minute turn for a 360. And the ball is centered. And round and round I go. Airspeed still hanging out right where I left it. Attitude, my nose is where I want it. You'll also notice that my wing is on that first little line right there.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So 2 good references for standard rate. Still on altitude. Still trending right around zero on vertical speed. Still in left-hand turn. Still standard rate. Still ball centered. If I want to roll out a turn, what am I going to use? My nose. Wings go level again. Nose stays on the horizon. Guess what? We should still be between 100 and 105. We should still be nose on the horizon. We should still be wings level. Still be on altitude. Still be trending at zero. On heading, our new heading is 210. Wings level, ball centered.
Okay.
Alright, now what if I wanted to turn right? Same story. Keep the nose on the horizon. Use my 2 markers for a standard rate turn. There we are. And now, back to the scan, right? So, still showing about 105 knots. Nose on the horizon. We're in a standard rate turn. We're within 50 on the altitude. I'm going to give us a little bit of back pressure to address that altitude, get closer to on. Vertical speed's going to trend up just a little bit, maybe a couple hundred foot per minute. We're in a right-hand turn. We're in a standard rate turn. The ball is centered. Now I lost a little bit of airspeed because I was in a climb, but I'm back on altitude now, so I'm going to relax my pressure just a little bit. I'm not going to dump it, I'm just going to relax my fingertips.
Right.
Now my nose is just above the horizon, which it seems pretty happy right there in this right-hand turn. I'm not making any bigger inputs now than I was when I was looking outside, right?
Right.
And I keep my eyeballs moving. I can't freeze on any one point. I can't just stare at my attitude. I can't just stare at my altitude. I gotta keep my eyes moving.
Just go in this direction here.
There you go. It's a big old racetrack, and anytime I set a maneuver, I use my horizon first.
Okay.
Alright, here we are back up north. Now, what if I want to climb? We enter a climb visually, what do? We go full power and put the glare shield on the horizon, right? Well, what are we going to use here? We're going to go full power. We're going to put the airplane about one airplane width above the horizon here. Right about there. Your nose is going to be between the little 5 degree and the 10 degree hash mark there. See it?
Sure.
Now, guess what? I'm going to lose some airspeed, right? I'm probably going to recede to 85 to 90 knots, and sure enough, there it comes. My nose is still where I want it. I'm still wings level. I'm in a climb. I'm trending a little bit more than 500 feet per minute up. I'm on heading. My wings are level. And I'm coordinating. I'm going to let go of my right rudder, and I want you to watch that ball. See the difference?
Yes.
About 50 feet shy of my altitude, I'm going to push the nose back to the horizon. Now, what were we trimmed for? 100 to 105 knots at 2200 RPM and level, right?
Right.
Hold nose on the horizon. Here comes my speed. As my speed approaches 100, come back to 2200 with power. Back to the scan, 100 knots, level, on altitude, trending 0. Just a little bit off of heading. I'm going to fix that with a small half coordinate or half standard rate turn to the left. There's my heading. Everybody's happy. Now, if that trim was set for 100 to 105 knots at 2200 RPM and level, even though I was climbing 500 feet, I should be able to do this. That's a big changes, right? Last thing, on the descent. How do I normally descend visually? I got to reduce the power, and I got to establish that 50-50 picture out here in front, right?
Right.
Well, I don't have that here, so I'm going to reduce the power. We're not going to be real ridiculous about it. I'm going to bring it back to about 1900, 1950 RPM. I'm going to go one airplane width below the horizon.
Like -5?
Yeah. Alright, one airplane width below the horizon. Now guess what? We're going to speed up. That's probably going to give us 105 to 110 knots. We're one airplane width low. We're losing altitude. Look at that, about a 500 per minute descent. That's all we ever really need. That's comfortable for passengers. Not going to blow anybody's eardrums up.
Right.
Still on heading, still wings level, still ball centered, and round we go. About 100 feet above my altitude, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring my power back up to what I was trimmed for, and watch what's going to happen. Airplane levels itself. Airspeed's going to recede just a little bit to what I was trimmed for. Everybody's happy. So with that, you have the controls.
My control.
Your controls. I want you to fly straight and level on a heading of north or 0 at an altitude of 3,000 feet for a couple minutes here. Find yourself pausing for longer than a second on any one instrument and force yourself to keep moving. Think about what we're looking for: static airspeed, wings level, nose on the horizon, on altitude, trending around 0, on heading, wings level, ball centered. Looking real good.
We're only about 100 knots though, instead of 105.
It's been between 100 and 105 level, so we're just fine. Alright, now maintaining 3,000 feet, I want you to make a standard rate left turn to a heading of airspeed begin to creep up, that's a telltale sign that you might lose a bit of that altitude, so you might want, don't haul back on it, just flex your fingertips just a little bit. There you go. See how those little movements can have a really nice impact?
Yes.
You can translate that to your visual flying too. You can afford maybe 2 or 3 more degrees bank. It's so smooth out that we see little things like that. Get a little bit more back pressure, just a little bit. Still about 50 foot low, but I'm getting. I have the opportunity to be super nitpicky. Looking pretty good for your first time here. About 15 degrees prior to our heading, we're going to begin our roll out to wings level and then go back to our scan. There's your heading, 180.
Oh, I thought we were going all the way around.
We said the left turn to 180.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay. And now we're going to do a standard rate right turn back to north, again maintaining 3,000 feet. Okay, airspeed's coming up a little bit, altitude's coming down, so a little bit more back pressure. Like I said, it seems to like, in a right-hand turn, a picture that's about 5 degrees nose up seems to keep the airplane pretty happy. About 100 feet low, let's give it about 100 RPM. That's also something you can use to make a subtle altitude correction. There's your heading. Make sure you're keeping that heading indicator in that scan. Now on a heading of north, let's climb to 3,500 feet. Your wings level, there you go. We'll go full power. Between 5 and 10 degrees nose up. Holding that right rudder in there. Again, we'll notice the airspeed recedes just a little bit, 85, 90 knots. You can afford just a little bit more pitch up. Get that. There you go. Now that'll show you right about there, almost 10 degrees. Will show you that 500 per minute trend. Now you notice you're heading drifting to the left a little bit. There you go. That's mostly because we need just a little bit more right rudder. It's a lot more evident now when it's right there in your face, isn't it?
Because plus we're climbing with torque and all that, right?
Exactly. That's why we got to counteract with the right rudder.
Okay, I'm on my heading. Wings are level.
And again, as long as our climb rate's around 500 feet per minute, about 50 feet before our altitude, so we're going to start using that nose back over to level again.
So we're going to 3,500, right?
Correct.
All right, there's 100 feet away.
Okay. Push the nose over for a little bit of power. There you go. Level, let your airspeed come back up while you're holding it level, and then bring your power back, and everybody should stay pretty happy. Alright, now let's maintain 3,500. We're a little bit on the low side, so again, you can add 50 to 100 RPM. Just a small power increase will give you a small altitude increase. Let's take a right turn. Let's say again a right turn to 270, so a 270 degree turn to the right. And maintain 3,500.
Then a 270 degree turn.
Yep.
So we're going to level out about 265, is that right? Or well, actually...
About 15 degrees prior is when you want to start a nice slow roll out. out with just a little bit of back pressure or a little bit of power. Just nice, subtle changes.
$95 knots. Alright, there's my altitude.
Keep the turn going. There you go.
Alright, coming up on 180.
90 more to go.
Alright, so 15 degrees prior, so that was right about there.
A nice slow roll out. If you need to cheat it back a little bit more to 270, you can. We were in a little bit of a shallow turn right at the very end. There we go. Okay, now on a heading of 270, let's descend to 3,000 feet.
Okay, so we're gonna pitch power trim, so nose down
Now just bring the power back first. For descent, just bring the power back. Just a little bit shy of 2,000.
to 19, you say?
There you go. Let that nose drop to about 1 airplane width low. Keep the wings level. Airspeed's going to accelerate to a little bit over 100 here. You're trending a little bit more than 500 feet per minute. Nose down. You've got an altitude decrease. You're on heading. Your wings level. About 100 feet shy of your altitude. Just bring the power in and let the airplane start doing the work on its own.
We're going to 3, right?
Yes.
Alright, so we're coming up on 100.
Alright, there it is. Bring your power back up to 2200. And as long as you're at 2200 and level and about 100 knots, guess what? Trim is already set. Your job's done. Nice. Okay, let's do a left-hand turn to 200.
Left hand to 200. Alright, there's 15. Now we're going to do a slow roll out. Well, why am I?
Looking good. 200 on altitude. Alright, so why are we doing this? A, like we said in the pre-brief, we want to be able to give some precision to your visual flying, right? So here in a couple of minutes we're going to reintegrate the two together. But the other reason is, and it's not as fun of a reason, but what if we were on a cross-country flight? Maybe it's night, maybe it's not, but we got ourselves into a situation where the visibility's crappy. You know, you may have to at times depend on those a little bit more than you're used to help keep the airplane oriented. You know, that JFK Jr. crash is a really good example of that.
Right.
You got to learn to trust and maneuver the airplane with them, and you're doing really good. You know, you're more or less flying to test standards your first time trying this, so I got no beef with that. But what I want to show you before I take you up under the hood here is what is it like when you lose that visual sense. So what I'm going to do here in a second is take the controls. I'm going to put us through some real slow maneuvers, and I'm going to have you come back out and get the airplane righted just by using your flight instruments.
Okay.
It's the first step towards what we call unusual attitudes. I'm not going to make it as aggressive as it'll eventually be, but I want you to get that sensation of kind of not knowing which ends up and trying to fix it.
Sure, okay, I understand.
Okay, I have the controls.
Your controls.
My controls. Go ahead and make sure your feet are clear of the controls too. Go ahead and close your eyes and look down the floorboard. look at the instruments only, go ahead and level the wings. And then we're going to add one more layer to that before we finish up here. So we know right now you're on course on 240 and you're on altitude at 3,000.
Yes.
Your pre-flight planning tells you at 3,000 feet on this heading you're not going to hit anything. Your job next time when you take it back from me is to get it back on that heading.
240.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, my controls.
Your controls.
My controls. The idea here is sometimes you get yourself accidentally in that cloud, and one of the safest things you can do is a level 180 and get the heck out of there.
Right. Beautifully. Okay, your controls, instruments only. We know we were safe at 3,000 and 240. So I want to just keep a little bank going, right?
Yeah, it's going on 240, exactly.
$95 knots. Got our standard turn.
So this is the whole idea behind what you're going to come to know as unusual attitudes is get the airplane under control. In our case, with this scenario, under control is getting back on a heading. We're going to eventually do some more aggressive ones that are going to involve getting it back under control from a real nose high or nose low situation. But
Okay.
the idea is the same thing. Get the airplane under control and in a known position.
And it's wings level first and then pitch.
That depends on which way the nose is going, but that's not for today. Today was just, hey, get it back under control and get me on heading. I didn't really have the nose anywhere out of whack on you.
All right, there's 240.
Okay, I'm going to have you continue your left turn now to 150, and let's begin a descent to 1,500. So when I bring you up from under this hood in a minute, if we're going to start a turn or a climb or a descent, do we need that anymore once you're up under the hood?
No.
You're back to using the horizon for that, but everything else can come in pretty handy, right?
What'd you say? 150.
150.
150.
150 and 1,500. And I'm going to fine tune a little bit more. Let's go 120. Trying to get us sort of
Okay.
set up this highway here.
Rolling out a little bit too soon on every one of them.
We'll get that adjusted. Looking good.
Now, why is there a little delay time? Because this one, it seems a little bit delayed on this one.
Their intervals are a little bit different in most airplanes. So what do we level wings with?
Yeah.
That one.
I just need to use my rudder more once I get them leveled.
Didn't need a whole lot of rudder pressure one way or the other at this point with your wings level. You're in a descent, so it's not really pulling anywhere.
Well, when I level them, though, I drift to the right. See?
That's got nothing to do with rudder, that's just controlling your heading launch. I'm
the controls with you here. Just keep the rudder pressures neutral.
We must have a little bit of a wind. Keep the left wing into the wind a little bit.
Yeah, you've got a little bit of a left to right crosswind.
Yeah. Alright, we're at 2,000, another 500 to
Yep,
go.
we're going to go to 1,500. I'm going to add one more task here in about 30 seconds to get you set up for your highway. It's going to work out real nice.
How are we going down when our nose is pointed up?
That's a good question. We need to adjust that heading indicator on the ground. I want to see what it looks like when we're level on the ground. That's the first time it's done that too.
It's showing like +8 or +7 right now. +5. We're going down.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're losing altitude. That's the first time it's done that in a descent like this. Okay, go ahead and level yourself off 1,500.
Pitch, or
Drive that. Let's make a left turn now at 1,500 feet to 210. A left turn to 210.
left turn 210.
I'm going to set you up perpendicular to the highway, and then we're going to pull you up under the hood, and we're going to zipper down that highway to Biller Camp doing some S-turns. Trying to set this based on what I'm seeing outside too. You're going to get perpendicular to that stretch of highway that we're looking at. Roll out 210 real quick. My controls.
Your controls.
My controls. Buckles off. Buckles off. Here's your highway. First turn to the left. I've got those. Your controls. That worked out sweet.
Alright, so start the left hand.
Yep, left-hand turn. The wind is pushing us away from the highway.
Standard rate?
May or may not be. That has nothing to do with this maneuver, right?
Okay.
What's our job here? We're gonna cross the highway perpendicular to wings level and not be perpendicular to wings level until the moment we cross, but we're gonna maintain coordination at 1,500 feet. So it might have turned a little bit too shallow, right? Because that wind blew us that way.
Right.
We're going to have a little bit longer of a session we want with our wings level. Now this one needs to be shallow, otherwise what happens, the wind blows us that way. But again, we're looking to maintain coordination in 1,500 feet, no matter what our turn rate looks like. If you find yourself getting a little bit high, you can add a little bit of forward pressure, you can reduce the power a little bit. Both those things will do subtle changes for you. So right away here, we're making you depend on both outside references and instruments, and that's the way it should be for visual flying. Very nice. Wrap it around a little bit more, sell it to me. Pop those wings level and roll into a nice crisp turn to the left. Again, no matter what the turn rate is, we want coordination and we want to be on altitude.
So it's going to be a little bit steeper, right?
Yep. reduce the power a little bit. Still riding about 100 feet high. I want to be at 1,500 feet. This turn is working out a lot better. Nice, nice, nice. Maintain 1,500 feet back to the right. So this maneuver doesn't work without looking outside, and it doesn't work without a quick scan every once in a while, right? Right. That's the idea. The left, back to the left. Probably should have been a little bit steeper initially, what do you think? Yeah, probably so. Alright, back to the right. Altitude looks good, coordination looks good. We got time for one more left, or sorry, one more right, one more left. We obviously need to make that left one a lot steeper in the beginning. Altitude's looking good, coordination's looking real good. These turns on the upwind side are working out really nicely. Gonna have more bank on the downwind. Yeah, you gotta roll in that left one a lot more crisp. Alright, last one. Make it pretty. Roll into it nice and steep here. There we go, so we can be aggressive, but we can still be coordinated on altitude, right? Right. Look at that. Gotta make it happen. There you go. Look at how that one's working out. A little low, but I'll take 25 foot. Okay. Alright, point us towards the middle of the lake.
Step 1080 Foxtrot, Lake Tower. wind 340 at 3, altimeter 3015, enter left base runway 1.
Okay, so if you maintain this heading of about 110 and right towards the middle of that channel, guess what? You're on perfect left base for 1. We're going to make one low pass down the runway and track for the non-existent crosswind. It's actually going to be harder than it would be with the crosswind.
Really?
So we want the nose pointed the far end of the runway and the airplane directly over the stripe. And then we're going to bring it back around for a full stop.
Okay.
You can get as low as you want to once you're lined up for the runway, as long as we don't touch. Honestly, it's just a lot of fun on that today too.
Here comes the gust.
No, that's just rising warm air. There's no gust. Alright, you got the runway in sight there?
Yes.
Okay, we're set up pretty nicely perpendicular to it. We're angled in just a little bit, actually correcting for the wind that's trying to blow you to the south. Got the best wind direction indicator in the world right there. Don't forget to use stuff like that. It's a lot bigger than a windsock.
Sure.
We're inbound for the pattern, so we want gas on both. Undercarriage down, mixture set, power set, seat belts on. We're good to go. Power back to about 1700 RPM. Bring your carburetor heat on. And I want you to step us down to 1,000 feet.
Skycase, your Foxtrot, wind 0103, runway 1 clear for the option.
Alright, now you can level to 1,000 here. So level with power, right? That's going to leave the carb heat on.
Still at about 1900, you think? Or
That's whatever it takes to keep it level. We don't need to be going fast, just level. This just gives you a good platform to get a little bit low down that runway. We're not having to do a bunch of descending on final here. When you think it's time to turn and line up on that runway, I'm going to have you turn. And the little bit of crosswind you have will be from the left. So if either wing is down, which one will it be? Left. There we go. Low as you want down the runway, you're in charge of that now. As long as we don't touch, I don't care. Over the stripe, nose point at the end. The wheel keeps us over the stripe, the feet keep the nose point at the end.
what do you think about right now?
Yep. Use that power and get us lower. Excellent.
So left wing low a little bit of right.
There you go. You want that nose glued to the end of that stripe where it goes away. We're probably overcorrecting because we're on the left-hand side of the runway. Use your wheel and drift yourself back over that center line. There you go. Add a little bit of power now. Just enough to stay level. Looking good, looking good, looking good. Doesn't take much, does it?
No, it doesn't.
You can feel the wind, but overcorrecting makes itself known pretty quick too, doesn't it? Okay, we're going to go ahead and kill the carburetor heat and then go full power. We're going to climb straight ahead for 1,200 feet. Then we're going to keep it climbing and make a left 90.
Okay.
Stack A0 Foxtrot, make left or right, close traffic, your discretion. Roger.
There's 1150.
Alright, 1200, make a left 90. We're going to keep on climbing. We're going to go all the way to 1,500. And as you roll out of your turn, we'll look back at the runway. We got to be about perpendicular to it. And let's go ahead and turn downwind now. Now you got yourself set to fly the pattern at altitude.
Alright, there's 1500.
Very nice. Now to level us off. Pitch power trim.
Waco ground. I think 774 Golf Echo. Waco Flying Service is actually waiting on the IFR to
That should be like 190 going south, right?
Well, you're
Why,
actually...
why am I at 200 or...
Well, for one, we got a little
Stack A0
precession in our heading.
Foxtrot,
Okay, it's not a big
1364,
deal.
runway 1 clear to land.
But we're not worried about heading. We're worried about what we're seeing outside.
Okay.
774 Golf.
So let's correct to the right a little bit because where is the wind blowing us?
That way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
774 Golf Echo, Roger. Stand by a minute, let me find that flight plan. And the ATIS is actually being worked on at the moment. I can give you the weather information now if you're ready to copy.
Okay, go ahead.
Stack A0 Foxtrot, wind 0204, runway 1 clear to land.
Okay, gas is on both, undercarriage is down, mixture set, power set, seat belts are on. We're good to go for landing. So beam the 1,000-foot marker, those big white stripes right there. Let's go power 1500. Those gonna get heavy and that's just fine. Alright, we're past the stripes now.
1500.
1500, carpet on. We are below 100, so let's go 10 degrees of flaps. And go ahead and turn base here. Very, very nice. Alright, we're in the white arc. Go ahead and bring the rest of the flaps in as soon as you're on final. And go ahead and idle the power all the way to idle.
Ready to copy and ready to taxi.
Full flaps or no?
Yeah, full flaps. They should be all out. Okay, my controls.
Your controls.
My controls. I want you to
Sector, ready to copy.
stay on that wheel with me. Gotta love it.
But you really hold a lot of back pressure.
All I got. Yep, every
Yeah,
bit I
okay.
get in there.
Stack A0 Foxtrot, contact ground point 9er.
And runway runway 1, taxi via Delta.
Runway 1 via Delta, 4 Golf Echo.
Just 4 Golf Echo, Roger. Cross taxiway Delta, and where are onto the ramp area? Where are you parking on the ramp? November 80 Foxtrot affirmative. Where are you parking on the ramp? November 80 Foxtrot, Roger. Turn left taxiway Delta, taxi to the ramp.
Okay, car feet off.
November 80 Foxtrot, hold short taxiway Delta, advise me when you're ready to taxi.
Okay, landing light
Station 4
off.
Golf Echo, the
Strobes
local controller
off.
just advised me that he's got somebody doing a practice
Transponder
approach to
standby.
runway 19. Wind is 360 at 4. If you
Alright.
can accept runway 19, you'll probably be able to
Okay,
depart faster
flaps
than if
up,
you go to
car peak,
runway
hold,
1.
transponder
You'll have to
standby.
hold you
So
for
we
the
got all that in
direction
some.
traffic.
Okay, now we're ready to taxi. You have the control. Just hold us short here.
November 4
Let
Golf
I know we're
Echo,
ready to
runway
go.
19er.
Okay, 19er, we can accept it, 4 Golf Echo.
Citation 4 Golf Echo, Roger. Runway 19er, taxi via Delta Alpha.
19er, Delta Alpha, 4 Golf Echo.
And I'm sorry, who just called? November 80 Foxtrot, turn left taxiway Delta, hold short taxiway Alpha.
Okay, here we go. Alright, so as we come out of this turn, we're going to pass Bravo, but we're not going to pass Alpha down here in this corner because you've got that jet coming out.
Good morning, Citation 501 Julie Mike on the ILS. Request the option, and it's the published mist.
Citation 501 Julie Mike, wake the tower, 1360 at 5 from... We're going to hold short here?
We're going to hold short of Alpha. This is Bravo, we're going to hold short of Alpha.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because he's going to turn outbound on Alpha. So we'll go ahead and start slowing it right in here. There we go, right at the top. It'll work.
Hold here?
Yeah. Face off.
Duel.
Skyhawk 80 Foxtrot, continue taxi to the ramp via Delta.
Alright, to the hangar. I hope it stays this smooth for my next flight. 'Cause that was
be nice all day, won't it?
It'll get bumpy, and the winds that are going to pick up, it'll get bumpy just because the hot air is going to start rising. It won't ever be bad, but it'll get a little bit bumpy. Pull us down just a little bit. And our ride's on our way out to meet us.
Good deal. Nice flight.
Very nice.
Did a little better on my S-turns this time, didn't I?
You did. Well, having that precision helps, doesn't it?
Yeah. Flying instruments only wasn't as bad as I thought either.
It's not. Where it gets hard is when you start getting fatigued. Believe it or not, the straight level can be the hardest sometimes. You start getting a little bit bored, a little fatigued. You're going to clear.
Control aircraft, wake with information, Victor current.
Alright, you step it over to this crack right here. Then you're going to clear your door. Alright, keep it going straight ahead. Straight ahead. Straight ahead. Get your wing to the corner right here, that inside corner. Yep. Now, step on the brake and cut it hard left. You're going to need some power. Then line yourself up on this crack right here, just on the left side of the crack. And straighten that nose wheel. Perfect. That'll go in pretty easy. Alright, we're going to go avionics off and then mixture idle cut off.
And ignition off, master off. Not too shabby for a month. Man. Okay? Yeah. I'm telling you, you're 99% of your hood flying was practical testing. You did a real nice job with that. Yeah. Plus or minus 100 foot, plus or minus 2 degrees, plus or minus 10 knots. Good. Your reintegration worked out real nice. You can see where it would have been a challenge if you know, some students have a real hard time once they've had those instruments going back outside. And if they have a hard time with that,